You're lying in bed. The room is dark. Your eyes are closed. And then out of nowhere, your brain decides it's showtime. Suddenly, you're delivering the perfect speech at your own surprise party. Then, you're calmly destroying someone in an argument you lost 3 weeks ago. Then, your crush is texting you first. Then, somehow, you're a spy, a famous musician, a person who finally said exactly the right thing at exactly the right moment. Sound familiar? Because if it does, you are in very good company, and your brain is doing something far more interesting than you might think. Almost everyone experiences this, that quiet mental cinema that runs every night before sleep, and sometimes in the shower, on a walk, or in the middle of a boring meeting. We drift into worlds that don't exist, starring versions of ourselves that are braver, sharper, more loved, more powerful. But here's the question nobody really asks. Why? Why does your brain build these elaborate fictions? Why does it keep going back? And what does it actually say about you? Today, we're going to answer that with real psychology behind it. And by the end, I think you'll understand yourself a little differently. Reason 1. Your brain hates unfinished business. Psychologists have a name for this, the Zeigarnik Effect. It's a well-documented phenomenon showing that the human mind holds on to incomplete experiences far more tightly than resolved ones. Finished things get filed away. Unfinished things stay open, running quietly in the background like an app you never closed. That argument where you froze and said nothing, still open. That conversation where you were misunderstood and never got to explain yourself, still open. That moment you wish had gone differently, your brain is still working on it. So when the real world doesn't give you closure, your imagination writes its own ending. And that's why so many bedtime scenarios involve getting the last word, being finally understood, or receiving the apology that never came. Your mind isn't being dramatic, it's trying to close a tab. Reason 2. Imagining a reward feels almost as good as getting one. This one is fascinating. Your brain doesn't just respond to things that actually happen, it responds to things you times vividly imagine times happening. When you picture your crush choosing you, or standing on a stage being celebrated, or walking into a room and commanding respect, your brain releases small amounts of dopamine, the same chemical that fires when something genuinely good happens to you. You felt something. Nothing occurred in the real world, but you felt it anyway. This is why daydreaming can feel almost addictive. Your imagination offers a shortcut to good feelings, no effort, no risk, no waiting. The scenario where you succeed costs you nothing and still delivers a quiet, emotional reward. The brain notices that, and it keeps going back for more. The challenge, of course, is that imaginary wins are easy, real ones aren't, and sometimes the preview becomes more comfortable than going after the actual thing. Reason 3. Your imagination gives you what reality hasn't. This might be the most important one. Pay attention to the content times of your imaginary scenarios, because it almost always reflects something you're genuinely longing for. The person who imagines being deeply understood probably feels unseen in their daily life. The person who replays scenarios where they're chosen, admired, or celebrated may be quietly carrying unmet needs for connection or recognition. The person who imagines confrontations they never had in real life may be sitting on emotions they haven't found a safe place to express. Your daydreams are rarely random noise. They're often the mind's way of filling the emotional gaps that reality left open. And that doesn't make you broken or delusional. It makes you someone with real emotional depth, someone who feels things that haven't found a place to land yet. So the next time your brain wanders into a world that doesn't exist, don't dismiss it. Get a little curious about it. What is it building? And what does that tell you about what you actually need? Your imagination isn't a distraction. It's a window. Which of these 3 reasons resonated most with you? I'd love to know in the comments below. And if this gave you something real to think about, please give the video a like, subscribe for more psychology content, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one.